Laudetur Jesus Christus. Vatican and World News.
In the headlines this Monday, May 3rd, Pope Francis approves the canonization of 7 men and women and urges altar servers to contemplate Christ in the Eucharist. The Vatican Museums reopen their doors for the third time to the public after a lengthy hiatus, and the European Union's ambassador to the Holy See welcomes an initiative to explore Rome's churches with links to EU member states. In the Vatican, I'm Devin Watkins. Pope Francis held an ordinary public consistory today and confirmed the vote of participating cardinals to proceed with the canonization of 7 blesseds. The 7, which included an Indian martyr and Charles de Foucauld, will become saints at a date which has yet to be announced due to the pandemic. Christopher Wells reports.
Pope Francis presided at an ordinary public consistory for the canonization of blesseds on Monday morning of the Apostolic Palace in the Vatican. During a consistory, the cardinals assist the Supreme Pastor of the Church through collegial action by offering their counsel on matters of particular importance to the whole Church. At Monday's consistory, Pope Francis confirmed the vote of the cardinals to proceed with the canonization of 7 blesseds, who will be raised to the altars in the coming weeks and months, according to a timetable to be set at a later date. Once canonized, the holy men and women will be recognized as saints throughout the universal Church. 1 martyr is numbered among the blesseds who are set to be canonized. Blessed Lazarus, known as Devasahayam, was a Brahmin of the Nair caste in India. Converted by a Jesuit priest in 1745, Devasahayam Pillai took the name Lazarus when he became a Christian. In his preaching, he particularly insisted on the equality of all peoples, despite caste differences. This aroused the hatred of the higher classes, and he was arrested in 1749. After enduring increasing hardships over the next few years, he received the crown of martyrdom when he was shot and killed on January 14, 1752. Blessed Lazarus is the first layperson from India to be beatified. Blessed Charles de Foucauld was a French soldier who traveled extensively in northern Africa. Originally a fallen-away Catholic, he embraced the faith at the age of 28. Blessed Charles found his vocation during a pilgrimage to the Holy Land. He was ordained at the age of 43, after which he returned to the desert in Algeria, where he lived a life of meditation, prayer, and study as a hermit. He was killed on December 1, 1916, by a band of marauders. Blessed Charles de Foucauld inspired a spiritual family which follows his way of life and his teachings. 3 priests who founded religious orders, Cesare de Bus, Luigi Maria Palazzolo, and Giustino Maria Ruzzolillo, and 2 religious foundresses, Maria Francesca di Gesù and Maria Domenica Mantovani, round out the number of blesseds whose causes were given definitive approval at Monday's consistory. I'm Christopher Wells.
Pope Francis has sent a message for the 25th National Pilgrimage of the Altar Servers of Portugal. The Pope urged those who served at the altar to put the enthusiasm of their age into the encounter of Jesus and to bring forth the gifts the Lord has given them. Father Benedict Mayaki has the story.
Pope Francis has sent a message to the altar servers of Portugal for their 25th National Pilgrimage, which took place on Saturday at the Shrine of Our Lady of Fatima. In the message, the Pope urged the altar servers to be holy. He reminded them of the good fortune that they have to approach the altar where the host and wine are consecrated to become the body and blood of Christ, adding that their eyes do not see Jesus, yet their lips and hearts adore him. He urged them to behave as befits the service of holy things, conforming their interior and exterior attitudes to be in accordance with what they do. Pope Francis further told the altar servers to put all the enthusiasm of their age into the encounter with Jesus hidden under the Eucharistic veil. He encouraged them to offer Jesus their hands, their thoughts, and their time, adding that he will not fail to reward them, giving them true joy and making them feel where the most complete happiness is. Recalling his message in the 2019 Post-Synodal Apostolic Exhortation Christus Vivit, Pope Francis also reminded the altar servers that they will not become holy and find fulfillment by copying others. He pointed out that the testimonies of the saints are useful for motivating us towards holiness, yet imitating the saints does not mean copying their way of life, because that could lead us astray from the unique and specific path the Lord has in mind for us. Further urging them, the Pope recalled the words of Blessed Carlo Acutis that all are born as originals, but many die as photocopies. He stressed that although many people may seem different, they end up just like others and do not bring forth the gifts and the unique personal talents the Lord has given to them. Pope Francis went on to hold the example of St. Joseph in front of the altar servers, highlighting that though he did not serve at Mass, St. Joseph became a great altar server of Jesus by his role as the husband of Mary and the foster father of Jesus. Concluding, Pope Francis imparted a blessing on them and prayed that St. Joseph, guardian of the Holy Family and patron of the Universal Church, may protect all the altar servers of Portugal, together with those who accompany and instruct them, including the priest and parish priest. He then went on to urge the priest to be fathers, teachers, and witnesses of Eucharistic piety and holiness of life to the altar servers. I'm Father Benedict Mayaki.
The Vatican Museums reopened today for the third time since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. They closed most recently on February 1st as Italy suffered from a third wave of COVID-19 infections. Barbara Iatta, the director of the Vatican Museums, hopes there won't be any more closures. Speaking to Vatican News, she explained the security measures in place and also a few enhancements that the museums have been busy with during the closure. This includes a new virtual feature on the great Italian poet Dante Alighieri.
Today we reopen the Vatican Museum. I hope it will be the final reopening of our museums. We reopen with a specific theme, security. We are secure in terms of what we offer to our visitors, thermoscanners, and really careful attention to beat the pandemic problem. We have 7 miles of museums, and as you see, there are windows open, courtyard, gardens, and so really the security of our visitor is for sure one of our goals. But we reopen also showing what we have done in this month of closing, digital implementation, many works of maintenance, and specifically we reopen today with the Dante digital online exhibitions that can allow visitors to come around with their mobiles or even know in digital form what Dante is significant for our Vatican collections. The divine poet has many focusing in our collections. Specifically, we are here in the Stanza della Segnatura, and Raphael depicted Dante 2 times. One together in the Parnassus, together with the artists and the poets, and another one in the Disputa di Sacramento with the theologians. So it's really a joy today to open again the Vatican Museums.
Thanks there to Barbara Iatta, director of the Vatican Museums. As World Press Freedom Day is marked on May 3rd, the situation for journalists continues to worsen, with greater restrictions, censorship, and abuse. In a tweet to mark the occasion, Pope Francis today said, "Let us use everything we can, especially the powerful instrument of the media, to build and strengthen the common good." Lydia O'Kane has the details.
Day and night, and for 365 days a year, journalists around the world bring us information via radio, television, internet and newspapers. Over the past year, many have been on the front lines in hospitals reporting on the COVID-19 pandemic, while others have been recounting stories from countries of conflict. Every year, on the 3rd of May, World Press Freedom Day is observed. According to the UN agency UNESCO, the day serves as a reminder to governments of the need to respect their commitment to press freedom, and is also a day of reflection among media professionals about issues of press freedom and professional ethics. In addition, it offers an opportunity to defend media against attacks and remember those who lost their lives covering stories. The theme for this year's World Press Freedom Day is Information as a Public Good, which UNESCO states acts as a call to cherish information as a public good along with exploring ways to distribute it and strengthen journalism. According to media watchdog Reporters Without Borders, there was a global decline in press freedom brought about by draconian laws introduced during the COVID-19 pandemic. The report found that nearly 75% blocked the media in some shape or form during the outbreak. The findings also found that the African continent continues to be the most dangerous place for journalists, while Eastern European countries such as Russia and Belarus scored badly on the Press Freedom Index. Marking World Press Freedom Day, the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said the situation for journalists continues to worsen.
During the pandemic and in other crises, including the climate emergency, Journalists and media workers help us navigate a fast-changing and often overwhelming landscape of information, while addressing dangerous inaccuracies and falsehoods. In too many countries, they run great personal risk, including new restrictions, censorship, abuse, harassment, detention, and even death, simply for doing their jobs. And the situation continues to worsen.
Thanks there to Lydia O'Kane. Briefly, Mozambique's Catholic bishops are urging their compatriots to embrace unity and solidarity with the people of Cabo Delgado province, who have been affected by violence at the hands of jihadists. The Metropolitan Archbishop of Maputo, Francisco Quimoyo, is optimistic that the armed conflict in northern Mozambique will eventually be resolved. In the meantime, Archbishop Quimoyo has pledged the Church's closeness with the suffering people of Cabo Delgado. And finally, the Iter Europeum initiative was presented today to celebrate 50 years of diplomatic relations between the Holy See and the European Union. The EU's ambassador to the Holy See, Alexandra Valkenburg-Roloffs, spoke to Vatican Radio about the initiative, which explores diplomacy through churches in Rome, which share a special link to a single EU member state.
We are launching the Iter Europeum, European Walkway of Churches in Rome on the 9th of May, which is Europe Day. And it is to celebrate the 50 years of diplomatic relations between the European Union and the Holy See. We have strong relations, not only as European Union, but all the member states as well. We have strong historic ties, and we want to make that visible through this churches project, where you can visit all the different churches that have a link to the different member states of the European Union. Now, throughout these 50 years, these relationships, we've focused on a lot of things. We have a lot of things and values in common, such as peace and human rights, development, migration concerns, but also now the COVID situation. I think it's important that we together look at how to deal with this and also how to make sure that really no one is left behind. In this Churches project, we focus more on the history, of course, where we want to showcase the strong historic ties, and where you can see that every member state of the European Union has a church here to which they're linked, where their community comes to, or where there is other historic ties. And so we want to make that visible in this walkway.
There are 27 state members, and are they 27 churches here in Rome, or?
Almost. We have found churches linked to almost all EU member states. The only ones that don't have a specific church dedicated to their country or with strong ties are Denmark and Estonia. So we have taken them up in the church that will be the European church, which is Campo Santo Teutonico, because of the link to Charlemagne. So there we will also have a totem explaining the relationship of the Holy See with both Denmark and Estonia.
That was the EU ambassador to the Holy See, Alexandra Valkenburg-Roloffs, speaking there to Vatican Radio's Mario Gargano. That brings us to the end of this edition of Vatican and World News. For more on these and other stories, go to our web portal at www.vaticannews.va. And don't forget to catch the latest updates on our Facebook page and Twitter feed. Many thanks go to our sound engineers in studio. In the Vatican, I'm Devin Watkins.